Welcome back, Eagles. It's finals, and this is our final show of the year. I'm Jasmine.
Our show may have been an easy final for us, but our topics are hard-hitting investigative reports. All this week on your Eagles Perch. For all the progress that has been made in the last 50 years since Martin Luther King's assassination, something has come up in the news cycle to remind us that we have a long way to go in race relations. Jasmine and Shania take a look at the current state of race relations through the eyes of our own Eagles.
As the leader of the nonviolent civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s, Martin Luther King Jr. traversed the country in his quest for freedom. His involvement in the movement began during the bus boycotts of 1955 and was ended by an assassin's bullet in 1968. Since then, we've expected America to change as far as race relations go, but has it really changed throughout these past years? We walked around the school to ask for people's opinions on the matter. I'm Jasmine with Eagles News. Do you think that the race relations in America have changed since the 1950s? Why or why not?
I believe that they have. I was born in 1968, so I can speak personally about it from, the early 70s on. But in my experience, I think one thing that's changed is people's willingness to talk about things, have hard conversations, especially in the last 5 years or so.
I think it has changed a lot since the 1950s because nowadays you see like a bunch of interracial marriages, and that's a good thing in my opinion, but in general, like coming from like being Mexican and Arab, it's like a really cool like mix because you never hear about it. So I think it's changed a lot ever since.
I think they have changed, but not much. I mean, there's still a lot of racism, but I mean, it's better than there was back then since, civil rights and everything.
What do you think we can do to make it better?
To make it better, you just have to accept them for who they are. Like, you can't do anything about it. Like, if you just put yourself in their own shoes.
I think we have to keep talking. I think we have to be willing to work through uncomfortable situations. Sometimes there are differences. It's not just race, it's culture. It's about religion. It's about just viewpoints. And if we really are going to live in a place where we value diversity, then we have to be able to have challenging conversations sometimes and be able to listen.
I think, for starters, not having a racist president would probably make it better, and maybe like changing the hate crime laws.
And have you seen America the most diverse these past couple of years? Why or why not?
America being diverse, somewhat.
I can speak primarily about schools like Olathe North, where I've worked. You almost stop thinking about diversity at times at Olathe North, and I really do when I address my class. Sometimes I have to consciously kind of take in the fact that there are a lot of different people here who come from different backgrounds, because in a lot of ways I'm just addressing English students.
Like at Olathe North, like it's pretty diverse. Like you have everyone here, every type of race, but like in America in general, like not really, not everywhere.
We've progressed since the 1950s, but we're not quite there yet as a country. We need to work harder to stop spreading hate in the U.S. Related deeply to how we all get along as a nation is the ugly reality of hate crimes. Jay brings us this report.
Race is a case. I talked to Shay and another student about racism, and his name was Jonathan, and I talked to them both in my English class. Both said it is hard for other races to understand each other. I asked them why or how is it, and they both told me that you can't put yourself in a white, black, or Hispanic shoes if you're not white, black, or Hispanic. You don't know what they go through on the daily or anything. And they both agreed that we should talk more about racism in school because racism is like, it's not going to go away anytime soon, and it hasn't, even though we tried. For different races, there are different obstacles we have to face. Saying that, for instance, I'm a black male, and it's kind of hard because police look at us different. Store clerks and things like that look at us different because not only did one day I went to a store and a store clerk was like, my pockets look big, and it was because of my wallet and keys. But saying that, they told me to empty my pockets, and I did, and I had nothing of theirs, so they let me free. They just let me go on about my business. But just saying that, it's hard for black people to overcome obstacles, but there are more obstacles for whites, blacks, and Hispanics.
Still on the theme of relationships is the ever-intimate relationship of matrimony. Recently, the divorce has been an indicator of success of marriage, has hit a 50-year low. Jerem shares the perspective on the future of marriage.
Stop it. Recently, marriage has been popping up in some news outlets, wondering whether it's a good idea to even get married or not. So we asked our fellow Eagles to see their opinion on it.
Do you think marriage is relevant or not in today's society?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty relevant. You're committing yourself to one person for the rest of your life. It's kind of relevant, but in this day and age, I guess it couldn't be. Because of how people meet nowadays. People meet like online and stuff, and you don't really have that connection as you do if you met in person.
I mean, like, I think it's relevant, but I don't know. I just feel like people rush into marriage.
Because it's not irrelevant.
Yes. So you get like a sense of like how they are with you, and instead of just like be like, hey, I'm married.
Yes.
Why so?
To see how you act and such.
I mean, in my experience, yes.
Care to elaborate?
I mean, I've never really talked to many people that weren't married and like had a family or anything, so I don't know. I've seen more marriage than not when it comes to like family situations.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, yes, there isn't as much marriage now, like there aren't as many people getting married as there have been in the past, but I mean, there's still quite a few.
Yes.
Why so?
Because if you get married to someone, that's a commitment that you're going to be with them, and it like shows your love for someone.
Partners living together before marriage typically conceive children before even getting married. Whether this is a success or a failure is up to you, but I asked whether or not it's a good idea to live together or not.
Yeah, my parents lived together 4 years before they got married, and they knew each other for like 8 years. And they were together for a long time, so because you're going to live with someone if you're married to them, right?
Well, that's the idea, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be a good idea to live with them first, because you want to explore every part of your relationship before you get married to them, right?
In some cases, for certain people, I guess it can be, but like, I feel like that's just kind of a thing that can lead to other things that should be left to marriage.
Yes.
Why so?
To see how you act and such.
I think it could lead to many mistakes.
So you don't think it's a wise idea to live together before marriage?
Well, it depends on the people. Like, say like someone's a complete slob and you live with them and you realize, oh, they're a complete slob. That may not change your opinion on if you want to like move in with them or not, but that gives you the sense of, okay, that's what I need to look out for.
Yes. So you get like a sense of like how they are with you, and instead of just like be like, hey, I'm married, let's live together.
Whether you think it's a good idea to live together before marriage is up to you, but there are consequences to everything. This has been Jaron Brand for Eagle News.
So, Josiah, you were interviewed for this package. What are your views on marriage?
Marriage is a great way to show your love for someone. What about you, Jasmine?
No comment. Finally, we bring you the news from the smoky world of vaping. Recently, Juuls have pulled their sweeter flavors from the market as study after study are now showing the dangers to this tobacco product, especially on the young who use this dangerous product. Josiah and Junior have this.
There's been a controversial topic going around about vaping. What do you think? I took this story on the streets to see what other teachers think. Teaching in the building, and what do you teach?
I teach physics and chemistry, and then physical science, and I've been here 9 years.
Alrighty. What is your point of view on vaping?
I mean, obviously, I think it's hazardous to your health. I think there's a lot of unknowns in terms of what it is that you may be ingesting, I suppose is the right word, in your body. And then beyond that, from like a moral code reason, it is illegal for.
Assess.
What is your role in the building?
I'm a student.
What do you think of vaping?
It sucks, but it's for lamos.
Alrighty, what is your role in the building?
I am an alternative education teacher, primarily focusing on credit recovery.
Alrighty, and what do you think of vaping?
Vaping, I think it's probably a bad habit, costly, and possibly bad for your health.
Alrighty, what is your role in the building?
My role in the building is alternative education teacher.
Alrighty, and what do you think about vaping?
Personally, I don't condone vaping. I think it's a waste of money, time, and obviously isn't the best for our health. So I do not condone vaping at all.
Anyone in your class and how to refer them?
In my class, yeah, I have, yeah. Just had to turn in a couple vapes.
Alright, that's about it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, have you ever caught any of your students vaping in class?
I have not as of today.
Alrighty. Have you ever caught anyone in the school doing it?
Have I personally caught anybody doing it? No, not directly myself, no.
It's Josiah Brandt with Eagle News Studios signing off. I'm Josiah.
And I'm Jasmine.
Signing off. See you in 2019.